Welcome to the Resiliency of the Human Spirit podcast, where we share all about human triumphs for the collective's healing and empowerment. I'm your host, Priscilla Hanley. My guest today is Soodabeh Mokry. Soodabeh is a registered nurse, certified hypnotherapist, and holistic wellness coach. She is also the author of Emerging You and Angel Nightingale. Soodabeh is the epitome of the resilience of the human spirit. Escaping from her war-torn homeland at the age of 30, Sotobe discovered her inner strength she had no idea she was capable of. Embarking on a lifelong journey of learning and self-discovery, Sotobe inspires people to move beyond limitations to create the lives we desire. Without further ado, I'm going to bring Sotobe on right now. Hi, Sotobe.
Hello, Priscilla. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so happy to connect.
Me too, Sotobe. So, wow, I read both your books, Sotobe, and I gotta say, whoa, you had a
Oh,
very intense journey, but also so empowering. So, I would like to start right away, Sotobe, and have you start sharing your story with our audience on what exactly transpired in your life, because you did say that you left a war-torn country. I would like you to touch on that and the lessons you learned and your healing journey and where you are today. How did everything start for you?
oh my God. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for your kind words and thank you for reading my books. I appreciate that. Yes, I moved to America because of the situation that I was in. I grew up in Iran, and for people that may not know, in 1979, and the revolution took place. Before this revolution, we were like a westernized country. My family would come to America for spring break, summer break. We were dressing up the way that you look at me, and everything was, we had freedom. And then when the revolution took place, they took us many centuries back because the government was a religious government that they wanted everyone to follow their religious ideology. Before that happened in Iran, we had people of all walk of life, people that were majority of the country, of course, were following Muslim religion, but we were like very spiritual people. We had Christian people. We had people that were Jews. We had people that were following Baha'i. I mean, there were so many different religions, and for me, I was blessed to grow up with a family that we were very spiritual. Means I had friends of following any kind of religion, and it was okay. But when the government took place, they wanted only one thing, and they were actually not using the power of religious belief to say, let's just bring more healing into the world. They were using that, abusing that word of God and religious belief to take everybody's power from them, specifically from women. And that's how it started. I was a nursing student when 1 year after the revolution took place. I was 19 years old, and they decided, the government decided that they wanted to close all the colleges and universities all over the country. And Iran was really famous for the education and educated people, and that was one of the things that we were proud of. And we thought that you cannot just close, take the right for having education from people. So it was like one day, all over the country, we were having a protest, like a very peaceful protest, so the government know that you cannot do that. And it was in that place that I was captured, tortured, and beaten into a coma. I was in a coma for almost a week, and my family didn't know where I was. And it was by grace of God that, I came back to life. And from then my life changed a lot after that. Of course, experiencing that trauma and knowing the fact that I was one of the lucky ones who survived, I kept asking myself, what was the purpose of me, being alive? And then, of course, about a few years back, when I was 13 years old, I lost my father. That losing him took me in a long journey with a depression for already, and experiencing that trauma, I felt very withdrawn, very quiet, didn't want to get out of bed, didn't want to do anything. But then I was in a place that I got married. Both of my husband and I, we were activists. I was mainly took the role of being the caregiver. So I was a nurse. I was able to go back to school and become a nurse. And I was working as a nurse night shift. My husband was working during the day. And then I had my son. My son was 4.5 years old. I got pregnant with my second child, our second child, my daughter. I was 7 months pregnant when my husband decided to escape the country, and he believed that his life was in danger. And he talked with his family, and they thought the best thing for him would be to escape the country. He had a brother and sister in America, actually in Portland, where I believe, and he decided that he wanted to escape. And he asked me, what do you think? I'm like, what can I think? You're gonna die if you stay here. And I decided that we are gonna sell everything that we had. I had to go back living with my mom and working as a nurse 15 days in a row, 1 day off, 15 days in a row, because I was the sole provider, for two kids. And then my daughter was born without my husband being there. And it took me about 3 years. And finally, my younger brother, he was about a little bit over a year younger than I was. He was married, and they had a 4.5-year-old son, and his wife was pregnant 7 months with their second child. Exactly the same scenario that my husband had left, 3 years ago. And my brother said, why don't I just take you and the children? We are going to go to Turkey, because that was the only place, the closest place that they had American embassy. So I can take you there. Maybe they can feel sorry for you, because apparently your husband, it's just keeps saying, I cannot bring you yet. How long can you, live without your husband, working this way, raising your kids? And he was working on his passport. Unfortunately, he died in a car accident. The day that I had no idea that he had a car accident and passed away, he passed away a bit around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. It was about like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I came back home from work, and I was holding my daughter in my arms because she was kind of fussy girl, and trying to help her to soothe her to sleep. And all of a sudden, I just dozed off. I mean, it's just like just a second. And the moment that I closed my eyes, I saw a dead body of a man. The only thing that I knew, he had a receding hairline. And that was my husband. He had a receding hairline. I opened my eyes and I was panicked to think like, oh my God, my husband dead. What am I gonna do? But I was so freaked out from that I didn't tell anything to my mom. I went and started cooking. My mom came, we ate dinner, still not talking about what I dreamed or whatever it was. I went to sleep, with taking my kids to sleep. And then around 10, 11 at night, I heard my mom just screaming and crying. So I opened my door and went there and like, what is going on? And she said that one of my cousin called and wondering where is my brother. And at that moment, I just knew that my brother is gone. Losing my brother, when my husband learned about that, he said, don't worry, I am going to arrange in a way you go to Turkey, stay with one of my friends with the kids, and go to immigration to see if they are going to help you to do that. You can feel all the shame and the guilt in every cell of my body to say, like, how am I going to live right now? I mean, after losing my brother, my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephew, my mom who was grieving, but then I realized that there was nothing for me to do over there. I couldn't even take care of myself financially. So I decided to take that option. And 2 months after losing my brother, I finally was able to go to Turkey. I had to stay there. There are so many things happen that I don't want to go into the whole details. That's what the book is for. And then I moved to America to realize that my husband didn't want me. He already had a different family, different relationship. So I was left alone with 2 children, no money, no family, no friends, and I couldn't even speak the language. So this is a little bit minimal of a shorter story of a very long version of how I got here.
Wow, so such an intense journey, so the way I really respect you for where you've come today. So much work and courage. You have so much courage to just carry on. So I am curious, so the way you said that your husband left you and you had no money and you had 2 children, you couldn't speak English. What did you do to support yourself and your family? Did your husband give you any money or no?
What it was, he was living in an apartment. So he said that he moved out of the apartment with his girlfriend of the time, and I was left there. And he said I paid the first month, and after that I was on my own. So when it's just that's why yeah, let me go say that that is the reason I have the title of my first book, Angel Nightingale, because there were many people, strangers, literally my neighbors, that came to my rescue. I had no idea how to survive, right? It was amazing, the miracles that with everything that I didn't have, there was somebody would bring clothes for my family, for my children. I brought, I didn't need to buy clothes because I brought, some clothes with myself. My neighbor was showing me how to go to the school because my son by that time was 7 years old, and to his school and put my name, and I was babysitting the children's from his school, or that going to that school. I was going, I mean, it was just an amazing miraculous way of people coming to my rescue until I was able to go to the school to learn the language as the English, ESL, English as second language. And I learned about other resources that they were available in the community that helped me with lots of grants, loans, and all of that. So I could go back to school and get my degree of becoming a nurse. And with work study, there were so many things, and still babysitting. So I was just literally working as going to school like 24/7. It was a lot of hard work to get to take care of myself and my children.
Yeah, wow. I'm so glad to hear that there were so many earthbound angels to
Mhm.
help you along in your journey.
Absolutely, that's what I called, and there are lots of stories of everybody that came in my rescue, and that is the reason I learned as I got my life together, kind of, I can say, and settle down in okay, this is a new country, and I did not have any plan to go back because I didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
When I felt like I settled down, and then I bought my first home, I had my brand new car, my children were teenagers, and it was the time that you think, from coming from, at first in Iran, I had a life, I had everything, and then coming to America, lost everything. And then again, I built everything in such a short time. And then I felt empty. I felt
Mm-hmm.
empty inside. People think that, if I had this money, if I had this job, if I had whatever that we think, that I am going to be happy. That is not true, because the happiness is within ourselves. And when the time that I had everything I couldn't even dream of, that was the time that it hit me like, okay, what now? Who am I? It's just a shift in identity. That who am I? I was a mother, I was a wife, and all of the thing is just my whole life was upside down, and then now there's a different direction. That was when I decided, every time that I would go home, there were some program that talking about the books that had the the concept of a spirituality, concept of visualization, concept of mindset. And I would go, and I was so thirsty, like, okay, what is it? I would go and buy the books. I would attend the workshops and seminars. And there was a part of me, I always had a question, why I had such a vision about my brother's death. What did it mean? And asking that question, and where am I going from here? Then I learned to work with a coach who taught me and that I was a healer, and how to meet and connect with the angelic realm. That helps me to, because I didn't know that I would write a book or I would be speaking, and I wanted to just find a way to heal all of my physical and emotional and mental anguish that I had carried for many decades, from losing my father, from being traumatized, and by being tortured, by losing, leaving everything behind, all of that. And then at that time, I like, oh my God, all of these times that I thought that I was alone, I was not. And it felt like there was every time that, because I came, also 8 years of war that I experienced, and I was a nurse working in a hospital, all of those times, so many times, life and death situations, and I felt like my life was being saved by some higher power and out of my control. And then I realized, as I was, everything was being, the pieces of the puzzles are coming, like, oh, okay, oh, that is the reason that I am here. Because, and this journey of mine is not just my journey. This journey is my brother's journey, who, in a spiritual sense, that some people may understand it and some may not, he sacrificed his life for me to be here. So every time that I speak on a podcast, every time that I write a book, every time that I, work with my clients in my membership, in my programs, and working with my patients in my work as a nurse here, every time that I do that and I bring hope and healing to somebody, my brother is serving. That is his journey as well, because he's with me, and my father and my father's father. It's just like three men, are gone for a woman to be the spokesperson for that. So that is an honor and privilege that I do not take lightly in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah. Wow. So amazing, Soodabeh. So I know you have had a lot of emotional trauma throughout your life. And so I want to circle back a little bit when you came to America and your husband left you. So how was the process like for you to start forgiving your former husband?
Yes, thank you so much for asking this question, because there are many people get divorced and the divorce is not a happy place, right? It is when I realized, when I learned working with angels and realized that God, source, universe, whatever that we call it, gave me that beautiful gift of a second chance. I realized that what my husband did was not the right thing to do, to leave me and my kids alone, but him doing that was a gift for me to become a different person, to become the best version of myself, to become the healer that I am, to become the speaker that inspires the world that there is a better world, there is a better way to live. And I literally wrote a letter and I gave it to my son. I said, give this to your father. And in that letter, I said, thank you for giving me the gift. Thank you for leaving. Because, and people sometimes get surprised when I say that. I said, just remember, if he wouldn't have left me, he could have stayed with me and he could have just, have two lives. And I would, if he wouldn't leave at that moment, I did not have the strength to say, I'd want a different life, right?
Right.
It was he ignited a fire within my soul and pushed me into a place that, growing up with a mindset that I wasn't good enough, now I look at the mirror, I said, I like myself. It is a difficult place, that go from a place that you believe that you are nobody, you don't have anything to say, you are shy, nobody is going to listen to you. And in my head was, nobody loves me. My husband left, nobody loves me. That was wrong. That was a wrong statement, wrong belief, because I had my kids who loved me. I had my patients who really loved me. I had my friends and strangers that would come and wanted to talk with me, ask me. And they were the reason that they said, Soodabeh, you have to write a book. You have a greater story. So, it's life is not easy. It's complicated and messy sometimes, but at any moment that we feel hopeless, there is a way for us to get out of it. It sound simple, but it's not easy, because we have to make that conscious decision to get out of our way and to say, okay, what can I do right now? How can I get out of this? Because majority of time, me included, we focus on where we are, the place of lack, that there
Mhm.
is nothing. I don't have money, I don't have friend, I don't have partner. It's just don't have, don't have, don't have. It is okay. I always tell my clients, I said, get a piece of paper, in the middle, say, what is it that doesn't work in your life right now? Make a column of all of them. And then on the other side, on the other next column, say, what would you love to have? Because that little simple way is just changes our belief system. It shows us, and then focus on what you want. Every time the thought comes like, I don't have, I don't have, I don't have, stop, take a deep breath, and say, I love to experience X, Y, and Z. And one of the things that I learned from my spirit team, that they say thank you in advance. Thank you. Instead of saying, please God, help me, bring some whatever, just thank you for the blessings of money, blessings of abundance in advance. Thank you for, I am grateful. I literally wake up and look at outside and like, thank you that I am able to see the sun. Thank you. And when the pain comes, like, thank you, body, for helping me to know that there is something I can sense, I can feel something. we don't think that way. It took me many years and go back to school again to learn about hypnosis. That's why I love to incorporate working with my clients. I always incorporate hypnosis, which is a way to rewire the mind, rewire the brain, because our brain has a capacity to change that is called neuroplasticity.
Mhm.
And with that, and that was I got the message from the angels one time. It was Hay House had a wonderful seminar about connecting with the angels. And I went there, and the message came like, Soodabeh, you need to go and become certified in hypnotherapy. And I'm like, but I am here to learn from angels. They said, yes, you did. You learn, you know, go back, go there. And when we connect with our intuition, when we connect with source, we get the guidance constantly. We can hear them, we can feel them. Yeah, it's not just, physical hearing. You can go talk to somebody like me. I was turning on the TV and there was something that talking about the book that could help my life. That is how we get the guidance, because they are constantly talking with us. Is just different way, maybe in a song, maybe on TV, maybe on a podcast.
Mhm.
There are signs everywhere. One once, but we have to, because we have a gift of free will. We get the guidance. Our part is to take the action step and do something
Right.
about it. That is how we get the result we want.
Yeah, and if we need help, we need to ask because we have free will. If we don't ask, they can't help us, correct?
Correct. 100%.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your journey with the Archangels. So you said the first time they came through, you were at this Hay House workshop. Is that correct?
I have been working with angels, and when I went to that Hay House seminar, it was that I wanted to improve my skills of working with angels. The first time that I felt the presence of angels, actually, because when I was working with my coach, that she said, Soodabeh, you are a healer. I'm like, what does that mean? And she said, well, you're angels, because I learned about my angels and how to connect with them. And she said, your angels are going to help you when you are in that situation. And there are, as you read, there are many, many stories in my book that, I was out and I would see angels. I was with my patients and many, many situations. So the first time that I felt the presence of angels was I was working night shift, and I was assigned to a patient who was in a lot of distress. He was in pain, he was moaning, he was grimacing, his breathing. And I went to his room, and all of a sudden, because I had to, it was my first time, go, you do your assessment
Mhm.
to see how your patient is. And it was on a cardiology floor, which meant that every patient were hooked to a monitor. We could see their blood pressure, their heart rate, and all of that. As I went there, and I'm like, okay, God, how can I help this patient? And then all of a sudden, and I get goosebumps every time I talk about it or I think about it, and I felt like the temperature of the room changed. It was like cool. It wasn't like a spooky, freaky cool. It was comfortable. I could feel, because I am a feeler. Not everybody could see,
Mhm.
with physical eyes. And I could feel because of the temperature changed. And then intuitively, I could hear the angels guiding me. Soodabeh, put your hands on his chest and again talk to him. And then I would say, I call him Andrew. That's not his real
Mhm.
name. And say, Andrew, I am here with you. You are not alone. The angels are here. I can help you, to help you with the angels if you are ready, because unless that we are ready, angels cannot intervene.
Mhm.
And I said, are you ready to transition? Because he was in that stage.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you are ready to transition, the angels are here to escort you. And all of the words that would come to my mind and I would repeat it, it was like channeled by the angels that they were talking to me. And I said, but if you are not, I am here to tell you that you can breathe. Just quietly, I am here. And then the palm of my hands always becomes warm. And that's how it is just the way I channel the energy. I allow the source to work through me, and the energy comes from every cell in my body, from my hands, and I transmit it to the person, whether they are my clients or my patients. And then all of a sudden, he became calm. His breathing calmed down, and he wasn't moaning. He was so peaceful. And I made sure that he was okay before I left his room. These scenarios would happen like every night I was working. And to the point that some of my coworkers say, like, Soodabeh, what are you doing? There is something going on, because every time, because they could see it on the monitor, the patient is in distress, and I go in the room and like 5-10 minutes, I come back and and then I started letting them know. I said, I have learned about energy healing, comfort touch, and I connect with angels, and this is what so it was just fascinating and intriguing, but at the same time, for me, I'm like, I don't want my coworkers thinks that I'm crazy what I'm doing here. But it was amazing, because those patients that were ready to transition, the next night when I would go back to work, I would hear that they transition in the early in the morning after I left.
Wow. So, how many archangels do you work with? The different archangels?
Yes, there are many archangels, and archangels are a one level or several levels higher than our personal guardian angels.
Mm,
Archangels, they are more powerful, and they can be with several 100 million people simultaneously.
right.
That's how powerful they are. Which our guardian angels are, our personal guardian angels are with us, and they stay with us from the moment that we are born, and they transition us to the spirit world. I work with several archangels specifically. The first one is Archangel Michael, who is the warrior of God, and he helps to clear any negativity and hold me in the space that I am safe and protected, so I can channel the vibration of God, source, universe energy. The next angel that I work with is Archangel Raphael, who's the archangel of healing, that I connect with him. I connect with all of these archangels every morning when I wake up and before I go to work. And the Archangel Raphael helps me with healing, channeling the healing energy that I can,
Mm-hmm.
give it or transmit it to the patient. The next angel is Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger of God, that raises our vibration so we can hear the guidance of our intuition, the guidance of our angels. And the Archangel Ariel is my new, she's not new, I call her she is not new, but she is a new angel of mine, because I am starting bringing more love to the world that, we have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of chaos and war and hatred going on, and Archangel Ariel is helping me with bringing more love, so I get the messages of that one. So these are the archangels, and Archangel Metatron that helps me. And as you can see, I am wearing the Metatron the necklace already,
Nice.
Metatron cube, and Archangel Metatron helps with the spiritual growth and evolving to the next journey. Plus, beside all of the archangels, I also have masters, teachers, and spirit guides that they are working with me because I'm a teacher and I'm an author and I'm a writer. So for all the speakings and all of the thing that I bring, I speak right now, for example, or I write in my books, I write all of my social media, everything that I do, all the videos that I create. They are all of these masters, teachers, and spirit guides, and angels, and archangels, and fairies, the nature angels, fairies. They
Right.
are all working with me because it's not like because I am a special, it is because I want to work with them. The moment that we decide, like, I want to work with you, show me how to, then they come and they start working with people. That is one of my areas of expertise that, I help people to meet and connect with their guardian angels and help them to let go of the limited thoughts and beliefs about the thing that we learn when we are growing up. I combine the possibilities of connecting with angels and also the hypnosis and 40 years of nursing, experience to help my clients to find what is it that they want and create and manifest, because we are constantly manifesting. We need to know how to focus on the positive thing that we want to manifest, and that's the reason I work with them.
Right. So fascinating, Sotobe. So you mentioned earlier about your process. You say that you connect with them every day when you wake up and before you go to
Mhm.
work. So can you elaborate further on your process? And the second part of my question is, how can we more consciously connect with our own spirit guides or the angel team?
Yes, thank you for that question. And I am going to answer your second question before I go to the first one. So, all we need to do is ask. Is there are many books, there are many programs, and I also can help them because, as I said, there are lots of people that they are hypnotherapists. There are lots of people that they work with angels. But for me, the way that my process works is to help to heal the past and the negative thought that we
Mhm.
believe. Because for me, I thought, who am I to work with angels? Or who am I that angels are here to work with me? Who am I to be a healer? So the first thing, that the way that I work with my clients is just trying to help about the thoughts, the beliefs that they are working on
Mhm.
constantly, back of our mind, the subconscious mind, and then help them through a guided imagery and connecting, help them to relax and in a place that they can connect with their angels and guides. And I also have lots of videos on YouTube and also on my website that it can help them, because sometimes, like, people say, me included, I have a difficulty to sit down and meditate, but guided imagery, guided meditation is a tool, a way that we help that our mind to get quiet because we are listening to somebody else and take us in that process. And my process in the morning is just it's just like 5 minutes. I sit down and ask, quiet my mind, focus on my breathing. When my mind is trying to calm down as I focus in my breathing, one thing that I sometimes do, and it is really beneficial, just put one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach, because our breath is connects us with the source. Because think about it, when somebody's dying, what happens? They are not breathing, right?
Mhm.
So that breath is the center. It brings our energy to our center, and then we can act. I say, thank you, Archangel Michael, for being present to clear, shield, and protect me from any negative energy, spirit, entity, and cut all the cords that are draining my energies and vitalities from all directions of time, space, dimensions, and reality. That's done. I give it to Archangel Michael. He does his work because I am asking. I am giving him permission to do
Mm-hmm.
his job to protect me. The next one, I ask, thank you, Archangel Raphael, for being with me, being present, helping me with the healing of my mind, my beliefs, my heart, my emotions, my energy centers, my chakras, and then I give him to he can do whatever it is. Because, like, for example, when I work with my clients and my patients and transmitting energy healing, I don't know which part of their body the healing needs to
Right.
go.
Right.
That happens through Archangel Raphael. And
Okay.
it's the same thing with Archangel Gabriel. Thank you, bless me and raise my vibration so I can hear you, and so on. So this is very simple. It takes like 5 minutes. We connect, and it doesn't make any difference how we ask. It could be silently, it could be uh, aloud, it could be writing, sometimes writing. But the more we practice, the more we can feel, the more we can hear, the more we can see. And they are all is not physically, they are intuitively. I also want to actually add, because some things that angels are telling me, everything that I have been saying is angels are working with through me.
Nice.
That some people also, this is something that I have worked with some of my clients, that they come to me and I ask them, imagine, close your eyes and imagine you are on the beach, and they can't. And it is okay. Some people are not born that way.
Right.
They see colors, and they tell me that, tell me, I am seeing color, I can see the beach, but I see blue, or I see purple, or I see green, or I see that. So if people who are watching or listening to this podcast, if you cannot imagine, there is nothing wrong with you. If there is another way that you can feel or you can sense the connection with the angels, the intuition, and all of that. I hope that I answered your
Yes,
question.
yes, wonderful. So you said that you connect with a lot of beings, right? Like the fairies, your spirit
Mhm.
guides, and the archangels. So I am curious, when they come through for you, how do you like differentiate their energy? Do you just recognize that, oh, this is archangel energy and this is fairy energy, or do they come through and then identify themselves to you? How does that work?
Yes, I always, when I ask, I know that they are working with me. So I don't go, that is a very advanced process that some people know, that they see, like Archangel Michael, the people that are able to see him in their mind's eyes, he is really big and he's really tall.
Yes,
For
I've seen Archangel Michael.
right, right.
That's
And that's,
correct. He's very
yes,
big and tall.
yes, that's another thing that I want people to know. Not everybody can see, and it is okay. I am more of a feeler. I can feel their energies. When I am working with my client and my patients, and giving healing energies, I know that Archangel Raphael is working with me, and I can feel his energy. He's just in front of me, and we both connect, and his energy, his light is green. That's how I
Oh, wow.
feel his energy. We don't have to know who is working with us, as long as we say, Archangel Michael, provide that protective in bubble for us. So there is, because their negative energy, because some people are afraid, how do I know that is not a negative
Hmm.
energy that's connecting with me? For my experience, for over 30 years, I have never encountered any negative energy, because uh, before I do anything or get out of the bed, I ask Archangel Michael to be with me and work with me, and I know that he is my protector and I'm safe. And another way to know whether it is a negativity or something that our mind makes up, because I was asking at the beginning, is this my mind telling me to go here, or is it Intuition, God, source, energy, universe, intuition, they are all positive. They repeat themselves the same way. They never say, Soodabeh, go left, and the next one, no, 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 Soodabeh, go right. So
Right.
if it is wishy-washy, it is not the angels, is not the positive, the spirit is talking with us. And that is, again, is a lot of practice. The more that we say, I want to learn, and they put that practice, they work with someone, because for me, I worked with my coach for 1 year, one-on-one. And for some people is feasible, for some people, yeah, is not. I
Right.
have my membership that, people come and I show them and I help them how to do all of these, how to connect, how to understand, how to work with different angels, guardian angels, personal angels, and all of that. So it is a process that we need to make that conscious decision that I am going to do it, and I am going to take my time every day. I would just sat, and every night before I go to sleep, I will connect and I will say, guide me. And I would just brainstorm whatever that will come to me, I would write it down. No, I don't care about grammar. I don't care about spelling. I don't care about nothing. I would trust and say, let comes. And then I will go later on when I was writing my book, my first book or the second book, I would go back and said, okay, which part it goes, and then it would
Mhm.
go. Then I would take care of the spelling. Then I would take care of grammar. Then I will work with an editor who
Right.
could help me. So there is a practice, there is a work into it, and this is going to be like a daily practice that we need to be committed 100% in order to get to the place that we can really just sit and talking with you and channel constantly what it is.
Right. So, Sotobe, let's move to your business now. So, what exactly do you offer the collective for programs and services? And then tell people how they can find you if they want to work with you.
Yes, and they can find me. I am on all major social medias: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. So they can connect with me, and everything is my name, Soodabeh Mokry. And my website is soodabehmokry.com. Everything is my name, so
Okay.
it is easy for people to get to work with me. On my website and also YouTube, I have some guided meditation. And even when clients come and tell me that, I want to work with you, they make an appointment, I said, go listen to some of the thing, because I want them to get familiar with the tone of my voice, with the
Mhm.
way that, I channel and everything. So the best way for example, for on my website, I have 2 free guided meditation. One, the moment that they go soodabehmokry.com, it's just a pop-up, is a guided meditation, only 10 minutes for relaxation and healing. And if they go and check more other pages and the product and the services, that they know that there is another free one, is how to manifest abundance, and is another 10 minutes guided meditation, which is free. I also have products that they can download, that they can pay for it. They are all affordable. They are under $100. Is audios for hypnosis and channeling, for confidence, for eliminating self-doubt and self-sabotage, increasing your confidence, and letting go of the past, anything that they want. Healing with light, that is one of my favorite as well, that is bringing healing light. Anything, self-love, worthiness, they are just like, they can download, they can pay for it, download and listen to it. And if they think that, oh, they get something and they like the sound of my voice, they like the way that what I take them through those journey, they are
Mhm.
all less than 20 minutes, and like, oh, I want to work with her, then they can connect with me. I offer 20 minutes free discovery session. So I want to know if they are the right people for me, meaning that if I have the tool to help them, because sometimes I am not, I am
Right.
not, solving every problem. I want to make sure that I honor their time and the money that they invest. So we both get work, something good out of working from together, with each other.
Yes, understand. So I'll put all that in the show notes. So we have a couple minutes left, Sotobe. And so I have a signature closing question here that I ask all my guests. You are welcome to answer, or I invite the archangels to come through for this question. And so my question to you is this: what is your closing message for humanity to help in our collective healing and empowerment?
Oh, thank you so much. I got goosebumps as you're asking this question. And this is something that angels and the spirit has been bringing up is, focus, focus on love. And that love starts from loving yourself. Because when we don't love ourselves, how could we love somebody else? The concept of love and bringing that to my second book, I wrote about it that I had a dream one night. It was October of 2019. I had a dream one night that an angel came and said, "Soodabeh, you need to write your second book." I said, "What? I already wrote a book." And she said, "You need to write a book." I said, "About what?" And she said, "About love." And I said, "About romantic love?" She said, "About love, baby, about love, about love." And I woke up. And that book, Emerging You, is about self love, how to learn to love yourself. Once I love myself, once I learn to accept myself, once I learn to stop criticizing myself because somebody else taught me that I wasn't good enough, we learn and bring that healing light and love, the unconditional love of the source to the world. And that's why I am here. That's why I speak. That's why I write. That's why I go on social media and talk about it. So I appreciate your time, Priscilla, and thank you so much for that wonderful question.
Oh, Sotobe, it's such an honor to connect with you. I tell you what, you are such a powerful soul. And I think you already know that, right?
Yes, thank you so much. And so are you. Thank you for bringing love and hope and peace and healing to the world by creating your podcast and allowing that energy of the positive energy of peace to go around the world by you. You are powerful as well.
Thank you, Sotobe. And for everybody who's watching and listening, thank you for your time. And until next time, bye for now.